Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. I'm with my guest host, Marco Ruffo, and we're going to take a look at a different perspective with our show's theme on performing at your highest. This segment brought to you by Best Chauffeured, Worry-Free, and On-Time Limousine Transportation Services worldwide. If you need transportation, corporate, airport transportation, or that limousine for the special night out, all you do is text the word limo to 313131. And we're also asking for your comments and questions from today's show. Marco and I will answer the phone direct. 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or connect with us on the web at nelsonradio.com. Marco, are you excited about our guest here?
Oh, Dave Austin. He is not only the best-selling author, he has developed The Process, which is a unique method that helps his clients play in the zone and stay there longer. His trademark game-ready visualizations that have helped many NFL, Major Baseball players, Olympic and college athletes all allow their true talents to rise up and shine.
I love that.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Hey, Dave, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hey, good. My pleasure to be on with you guys.
So we were in our last segment, we've been looking at performing at our highest. Obviously, Marco's one of the market leaders, the industry leaders in the real estate sector, and in my background on the finance side. But we've got to perform. And in this marketplace, there's very little margin, no different than when you're working with your athletes. So we wanted to take a look. We kind of broke down those 5 key things that you need to do. Marco broke those down for us in terms of relaxing, evaluating, strategizing, exercising patience, and then being ready to act in order to perform. But we wanted to ask you about that and give us some insights there.
Great. Well, awesome. Well, like in anything, in business or on the field, I'm every day working, mainly on the field of sports, and you're always under that pressure, you're always under that cooker. No matter, like in baseball, we've got baseball going on right now, so every game, doesn't matter what you did yesterday, you got to be at your best today. You've got new challenges today and new opportunities today. So it depends on where you want to focus. And the same thing happens in business. And, I like to make it fun. That's what we're here for, and so when we can bring our best every day, we look at any challenges we have, we look at them as opportunities. We just always shift. I do the same thing on the sports field every day, and that's what creates the difference. So you already brought up RESPA. I don't know how much you told them of how that came about. Did you?
No, I want to hear that. Yeah, share the story of RESPA.
Right. The story of RESPA. Well, I've been coaching Major League Baseball players. I've done U.S. Olympic teams. I've done the Los Angeles Dodgers. I've really been privileged to be in a lot of really neat opportunities for guys to rise up. And recently I hooked up with Roger Anthony, who's from Australia, who's one of the leaders in performance in the business world. He has the number one retention program there is out there, and he uses animals to lock you in so you hold it and you stay true to it, because the truth is we have over 65,000 thoughts a day. I mean, we've got all these thoughts that can either interfere or we can then, we want to take command of it. So when you can simplify, what I do, like for an example in the Game Ready, is I set my intentions. So same thing. If I'm going into a meeting, set your intentions. So that 3, maybe 5 max. So you're very, very clear. Any thoughts outside of that is a distraction. So you want to be very focused as you go in. So the beauty of bringing Roger Anthony's work and my work with Extreme Focus, we brought them together, to be Extreme Focus, be a beast. Every day, choose the beast you want to be. And RESPA is a crocodile because, if you can remember, when you're under fire and you're coming in and you need to be at your best, if you can simplify it to one word, RESPA. And so let's talk about that for a moment. A crocodile and the dinosaurs roam the earth at the same time. And I don't know when the last time you saw a dinosaur, but I haven't seen one lately.
And my producer is pretty much a dinosaur, but go ahead.
But crocodiles are thriving. And why? You got to look at why are they thriving? Because they learned how to adapt. And that's, as a businessman, you have to learn how to adapt. A crocodile can take its heartbeat down to 3 beats a minute. I mean, that's amazing. So when there's a drought, it can just kind of lay low and take its beat down and stay in that relaxed state. So when the water comes again, it's ready to be there and gain from it. And so the story of RESPA is the name of a crocodile that they filmed that it had been like 3 months since it had eaten, and the rains came, the lagoon filled up, and the crocodile was there. They had this filmed. Wildebeest would come down to the water. So the crocodile, they're actually pretty fast in water, but he knew instinctively that if he rushed over there, those wildebeest would fly because they understand that there's danger out there, so they come in very carefully. And so they filmed this for day after day with this crocodile just moving 10 feet a day. Amazing discipline. And finally, when it got into position, he put himself right in against the shoreline that the king of the wildebeest went and actually tried to, thought it was a log and was trying to move it out of its way, and boom, that's when the crocodile acted, and he was fed.
Let me ask you, whether you're on the athletic field or in the business environment, you see the prize. In Marco's world, in our world, it's the prize of that property that you want to acquire. Instinctually, it's to act quick and move and dart and jump and sprint towards. None of that is exercising patience. How do you balance that?
Wow, it's a challenge. It's a learn. It's just one is first becoming aware. Notice what you're noticing. So often we get anxious and we want to get ahead of ourselves. As a tennis player yourself, you can't get ahead of the game. If you're up a break, hopefully people understand in tennis you're in the lead, and if you start trying to get to the finish line, that's exactly when you're going to go down. You have to stay in that moment.
I know as a tennis player, I didn't get ahead of the game. That's why I'm broadcasting radio, right?
And it's good. You got the good voice. I bet you I can hear you saying out,
Yeah, especially when tee up. Hey, Dave Austin, I want you to stay with us. Dave Austin from Extreme Focus. We're breaking down how to perform at your highest. Stay with us. This segment brought to you by Best Chauffeured, worry-free and on-time limousine transportation services worldwide. We want to take your calls with Dave's coaching on how to perform. 888-2136. Marco and I will answer these phone calls. 888-2136, or connect with us direct at nelsonradio.com. We'll be right back. Performing at your highest. I'm with my guest host, Marco Ruffo from Prudential California Realty, soon to transition to Berkshire Hathaway. This segment brought to you by Title 365. Title 365, one of the innovators in the real estate industry, bringing you transaction status live to your iPhone, to your iPad, to your Mac. They're truly innovative in their marketplace. Call us direct during our program, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. We're continuing to dialogue, Marco, with Dave Austin from Extreme Focus in his specialty as a mental coach for some of the elite athletes in the world is following this acronym that we're breaking down, RESPA.
I think it's fantastic. The acronym couldn't suit the industry that we're in right now any better. So
we've talked about the R being relax, the E being evaluate. Tell us the rest of the acronym, Dave.
Great. I mean, sorry to jump in there, but in that relaxed state, you're able to see things clearly. Mm-hmm. So it's a very important part. You're able to evaluate. S is to strategize. P is for patience. A is act. And you know what? It can happen in a millisecond. It can happen, but when you leave a part of that out, I'm guilty sometimes of RESA, leaving the P out. And then I jump in, and that's where the mistakes are made. But when you put yourself and you use those, all of them together, you're putting yourself in a position to win every time. I've had so many, and I love it, Mark. You're talking about, bringing it to the real estate. It's so applicable to every part of life, and especially, in your field. It's right on.
Yeah, in this climate that we're in right now, you definitely got to relax. You definitely got to evaluate, strategize, be patient, and then you got to make your move. So it couldn't be any better suited for this climate that we're in.
Give us a storyline. Obviously, you're deeply entrenched in Major League Baseball and the NFL. Share us a couple of stories out of Major League Baseball, since we're desperately looking for Angels wins coming out of the Southland.
Well, I wish I could give you a positive Angel story. This one that I'm thinking
dig deep, Dave.
Actually, this is the one I'm thinking of is actually with the left fielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Jason Kubel. Great guy. We always set intentions. Remember, I talked about set 3, don't set more. So one of the intentions, this was last year, was RESPA. I mean, that's an intention. Let's live in that so that you're relaxed at the plate. And then the other intention was to spread the ball. So then we did a visualization, meaning, spread the ball around. He was getting a little anxious. He was losing the P. And so we wanted to see, go with, he's a left-handed hitter, go, if it's on the outside, go left field, go center, go right. And so we were visualizing, seeing him do that before the game. And so the game started and it was on, and then I get a call from another client. Said, "Are you watching ESPN right now?" And I said, "No, why?" He says, "ESPN is going live to see Jason's next at bat." I'm going, "Why are they going live to his next at bat?" He says, "Well, first time up, he hit a home run to left. Second time up, he hit a home run to right. Third time, he hit a home run to center. They want to see what he's going to do his fourth time up." And it's really fun when we see those things happen, because it's like you're just living into your video, and afterwards, he just goes, "I RESPA." It's just a funny thing, and it's fun to high five when we've claimed where we're going, we've visualized it, and that act part is done with conviction. I'll give a real quick NFL story. Last year, I have a client plays for the Carolina Panthers. We did the exact same thing and then the visualization and the RESPA, because he was getting a little ahead of himself. And we literally, in the visualization, I saw him getting a 32-yard screen pass touchdown. I don't normally go to that detail, but it just kind of was in the flow. So I was flying to Boston that day, did the game ready. I was on the plane, and I was on JetBlue, which fortunately, you can watch. And I got to watch them.
Right.
2 minutes left. They're down by 5. All of a sudden, the 2-minute warning, they come back, and what do? It's a screen pass to Kealoha Polaris. And I told him in the viz, I said, then you just shift into that fifth gear. And I watched it take place on television. And then because it was such a dramatic play, all throughout the flight, they kept replaying it. And,
you're jumping up and down in the aisle yelling RESPA, people thinking you're a threat to our...
we were dancing to RESPA.
RESPA standing for relax, evaluate, strategize, patience, and then being ready to act. There's another A that's obviously not in this RESPA, but I wanted to ask you about it in terms of how critical is it for affirmation?
Oh, gosh. Affirmation. I mean, are you talking in terms of constantly the positive words you speak, on
Not
a
only
constant
that,
basis?
but being aware of what your affirmations are, having an awareness of, hey, I do this well, or this is my giftedness.
Okay.
Is that critical?
Very, very good. And it's, what I like to say is like pitch into your strength. Too often we get distracted by our weaknesses, so that they close out our strength. And I'm not saying that you avoid your weaknesses, but when you're living in your strength, I mean, there is real truth to positive energy. The power of positive energy is far more than anybody even realizes. And sometimes if I'm speaking to groups of people, I show them physically how you're stronger, mentally how you're stronger with a positive approach. So when you're focused on the things you do well, you're feeding. It's like you say you have a garden. You want to water those and they'll sprout. You want to starve that you don't want to feed. So why feed the negative thoughts? Why not feed that strength? So it's really you're empowered by that position. Again, you're not avoiding your weaknesses, but your weaknesses don't become. You're able to take them on so much easier because of that affirmation to your strength.
We're with Dave Austin, Extreme Focus. Marco, in your marketplace, there's lots of negativity. There's lots of disappointment. Are you having to prop yourself up constantly?
I have a saying in my office, if you don't come in with a smile, then turn around and leave. And everyone that works for me must have a smile as soon as they walk through the door. So yeah, positive. I've always been a big advocate of affirmations, big advocate of having an absolute positive attitude about everything.
And that's something that I've learned in business as well. Dave, you probably are coaching this, but in terms of staring out the windshield at the future on what's right, glancing back at the past and the rearview mirror at what's wrong. Does that work?
Yeah, it's really about you learn from your past and you learn there are really almost no mistakes if you learn and grow from each one and see the advantage, whatever the obstacle is. It's staying present. If you get ahead of yourself or get too far behind yourself, you've lost that present moment to be completely aware in this moment. And something about Marco, what you talked about, coming to the office with a smile on your face, you're very successsul. And you probably, you maybe realize it, the depth of your success comes from that simple principle that you're already giving to every one of those that work for you, because, we want to deal with people that we enjoy. I mean, it's a natural thing. We all have energy that we put out. It's even more important than our words sometimes. When someone walks in the room, you can feel their energy.
Yeah, you really can, Dave.
You really can, and you look at successful real estate brokers, and you're very aware of this. I mean, there's just certain people you're attracted to, and it's more because of that positive flow. And it's like you have a comfort level. If the real estate agent is uptight, the client becomes uptight. Very, very, it's amazing. So here's a chance to close a lifelong dream for the client and for you. But because of your nervousness, all of a sudden they get nervous. Energy is felt. So that positive energy, that smile on your face, and that affirmation of knowing who you are and living in integrity, that this is the right deal for them, that's going to speak volumes that you don't even hear, but you feel, which is more important anyway.
Hey, Dave, thanks for being with us. This time flies by. Marco's given me the thumbs up. He's excited about that, just that positive affirmation, and I think that is key to business. It does set the stage for the transaction, and it does bleed through to the customers, dependent upon what you're conveying. So, great counsel. We want to have you back. That's Dave Austin from Extreme Focus. We're heading towards Stump the Experts. Stay with us. You can contact us direct, 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136. This segment brought to you by Title 365. Special thanks to Dave Austin from Extreme Focus. We'll be right back.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades, direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.